Okay, session 34, the town of Oublie. Our heroes, Gary, Vart, Strife, Grultz, the White Mantis, upon entering the manse they've come to know as Amy, find themselves once again teleported. When they check their new surroundings, they discover themselves on a river's edge with an abundance of a blue heart-shaped leaf plant surrounding and filling much of the fields. This plant, they later discover, is known as blue cohosh. As they explore further afield, Gary, Vart, Grultz and Strife find a signpost indicating the nearest town is Oublie. As they are wont to do, they quickly saddle up their horses, and no, they don't saddle up their horses, they set up their carriage with the horses, and Grultz drives them right to Oublie. The party arrives late at night and are quickly drawn to the local inn, the Jolly Drinker, due to the light, noise and smell of fresh food. The party enters the Jolly Drinker, only to be quickly greeted by the small, stout, balding innkeeper, Ludo, who seems rather shaken by their arrival and begs them. He begs them not to fight anyone. Failing to make eye contact with them and seeming rather shaky and nervous, he begs them, please don't kill anyone. You know, free food, free drink, just don't kill anyone, please. While Gary tries vainly to draw more information from the innkeeper, who seems to not want to interact at all beyond begging them not to kill anybody, Strife and Vart notice that all eyes in the inn are resting on them. Most quickly avert their gaze, however, a small group of men in a corner wearing a strange matching armband with a weird symbol in the centre of what would appear to be the Akota flag continue to watch them and engage in whispered conversation amongst themselves. Shortly after, the small group, what the party later discovers to be a member of the UX, the secret police of the Akota, get up to leave as our heroes attempt to enjoy some food. Seeing this group of UX leave, a couple of the older men in the inn stand, their eyes darting between our heroes and the UX, and position themselves between the door and the secret police. They tell them they won't let them do it. Shortly after, a fight follows, which our heroes quickly join and finish just as fast. During this time, the innkeeper has been practically manic as he freaks out about the fighting and the death of both the UX and some of the local villagers who attempted to stop them leaving for some reason. As the fight ends, the inn door bursts open with a rush of wind, and a small collection of zombies, apparently from nowhere, scuttle in and head towards the corpses, which they proceed to collect. In their wake comes a tall, lanky, dark hooded figure with slight sections of very dark maroon mixed amongst that and the bone-coloured accoutrement on his person. He approaches Ludo, the innkeeper, and saying to him, "You are as good as your word, as per our arrangement," and he stretches out his hand, dropping several pieces of blood red silver into Ludo's hands. The party watches, astonished, confused as to what's happening, and then the figure leaves. The party recognise the figure as the abyssal, the revenant vow of anguish and sorrow, and confusingly choose not to engage with either him or the zombies, allowing him to leave with the fresh corpses. This, of course, prompts Gary to question the innkeeper even further, who basically replies that he unwittingly committed to a deal in which any corpses around him will be freshly collected by the Revenant Vow, and he will be paid in this blood red silver. Gary pushes him further for more information. However, Ludo appears either unwilling or unable to provide more answers. The party then chooses to leave, as the question was raised among the remaining villagers of who was going to report this atrocity to the governor. As none of the villagers seemed willing, Strife put up his hand and said, "We'll do it." And thus ended session 34.